First of all, what is a great player? Well, in my opinion, it's just someone who can make many successful shots in a row. And what is a successful shot? Well, it's a shot that brings him closer to winning the rack or winning the game or of course winning the match. And this simply just means he makes less mistake than other people, so he's just more consistent. And I have some good players at my local pool hall, some befriended players, and they can run a couple of racks here and there, 9-ball, 10-ball, 8-ball, and they will even win matches against me if we're playing 9-ball raised to 7, for example. But they are good players and not great players. And this became obvious, very obvious, the last time we were practicing here. So we were playing straight pool, we were playing as a team, we were trying to run as many balls as possible, and we came across this situation. In this situation, our goal is to get a nice shot on the 9-ball to nicely open the pack. It was the first player's turn, and he faced this situation. So what he did was, went down, just tried to hold the ball, which he did very nice, and then the other player just had to come one rail over towards here and then have a nice break shot. So let's give this a try. Did this, and then all of a sudden he just hit the ball way too soft and we didn't have a shot to continue. So right away those two players said, well, we just hit it a bit too soft. If you hit it a bit harder, then you would have had a nice shot on the 9-ball. So it was just a matter of bad speed control. And in my opinion, this wasn't a matter of bad speed control. This was simply the wrong shot he played. So first of all, if you're in that situation, what you could do is actually use that second rail. So let me show you that. Because that way you definitely will have a shot on the 9-ball, which we have here. So this was perfect speed control. But once again, the problem with this shot is if you're hitting too hard, then once again you will have little angle or no angle. And if you're hitting too soft, you will end up with this shot. So I told those two guys, well, we shouldn't have played it that way. There was actually a nicer path to go, and I would never have gone that path. And they didn't agree with me. So I was showing them what I meant. So instead of just trying to hold the ball, I actually stunned over for the 13 ball. Here, first of all, you have a huge position window. You just want to have the angle where you're going in that direction, because now what you can do is you can actually use two rails, come out like this, and then once you're here, you will always have a shot on the 9-ball. So first of all, let me show you how this shot would look. So just a center ball with a touch of left spin, depends exactly on the angle. And you can see now I will always have a shot on a 9-ball and I will never get straight, because as you can see with that straight line, once the cue ball leaves the rail from here, we already have a nice shot, and then the cue ball can travel all the way towards here. So first of all, we will never be straight or on the wrong side, and in order to be frozen to the rail, you have to completely miss-hit the shot, because once you're here, you will never be frozen to that rail. And they somehow didn't agree with me. They still told me, well, I usually make that shot. I usually, if I have the type of shot, I get this position right 8 out of 10 times. And yes, they probably get it right 8 out of 10 times, but compared to the other shot, which you probably get right 9 or maybe even 10 out of 10 times. So what they didn't understand is that even if this just is a tiny difference in percentages, because this shot maybe has 80% success rate, and the other shot that I was just showing you has 90% success rate. Well, those are just 10%, but imagine, you're not just playing this one single shot if you're playing pool. In a single rack of 10 ball, you're probably playing 10 shots. If you want to run 100 balls in straight pool, you're going to play 100 shots. And if on every single shot, you're playing a type of shot that just lowers your percentages by a tiny bit, of course, this will add up if you're playing more and more shots. So those tiny percentages are actually the most or the biggest difference between amateurs and professional players, because a professional player will always, no matter how tiny the advantage in their percentages is, choose the shot where they have the higher percentages. Because, to be honest, on a pro level, everyone knows exactly how the cue ball reacts. Everyone exactly knows how to make shots, how to aim shots, how to aim with side spin and all this stuff. And many good players also know that, but what they're most of the time lacking is the right strategy, the right shot selection, the right safety shots they're going to play, the right cue ball path they're going to play. And the problem is, the more you know in pool, or the good players probably think they know everything about pool, and in this situation they just have to work on their speed control. Or if they're missing a shot like this, for example, I have this other befriended player, and we're still playing straight pool, and then he comes up with a shot like this that he has to play into the side pocket, and then he misses the shot. He constantly checks his technique. Oh, my stroke was a bit off. I'm supposed to make that shot. And yes, you're probably supposed to make the shot, and a professional player would probably make this shot. But first of all, or the most important thing, if you're facing yourself or leaving yourself that shot in straight pool into the side pocket, then you did something wrong way before you got into the situation. Because this shot, compare this shot to this shot, this definitely has the higher percentages. So yes, if you're leaving yourself, for example, also this shot into the further corner pocket, into this pocket, and you miss the shot, you could say, well, I'm supposed to make the shot, but this is just a low percentage shot when you definitely had the chance to somehow bring the cue ball towards here to make it into the corner pocket. So, you know what, let's actually play it and open the rack from the 9-ball. So once again, just trying to stun over. Here I have a bit more angle than before. This is why here I don't need any spin. This is just a pure center ball. And you can see once again, very, very nice break shot where I just had to roll the ball in. Now let's open the rack. And by the way, if you want to see me playing straight pool with commentary, running, I think 88 balls in a row, then head over to Patreon. Link is in the video description. Okay, here I like to really power it in, draw the cue ball all the way back to the short rail, and then to the center of the table again. Opened it up okay, and we have a shot. So if you want to see me running this rack, then head over to Patreon once again, because I'm providing a bonus video for every single lesson here on YouTube, and straight pool is not very popular. This is why we're outsourcing this to Patreon. The biggest difference, as I mentioned, is you have to increase your percentages on every single shot, no matter how small the percentages are. So really study the game. There is so much more to learn than just cue ball control and shot making and banking and jumping and braking and safety and so on. No, there is just so much to learn. And even I probably know, I don't know, 30% of what there is to know in pool. And I understand this. This is because why I constantly study the game, because I'm listening to other players, I'm analyzing other players, just talking about the game, analyzing and trying to squeeze out every single percentage. And this is not just shot making, this is also something like this. You're down, I'm not feeling well on this shot, well, let's try it anyway. And then you mess up. Here, you could actually have higher your percentages by when you're going down, or when you're down and you start to think about all this stuff, by just being disciplined enough to stand up, to recollect, to start over again until you really feel the shot. So again, this is maybe just a 5% difference. But once again, you're playing hundreds and thousands of shots. So try to study the game, to be open for new ideas, and don't just tell yourself, well, I have to work on my speed control, which you probably have to, or you have to work on your shot making. Of course, this is also part of the game. But the most important thing, especially in straight pool, this is where it really shows, you have to definitely play clever pool, play the percentages, and then you will become more consistent, not only in straight pool, also in 8-ball, 9-ball, 10-ball.